Hey, folks. let's get let's get straight to it so we can get through it quickly. A 5-year multi-year deal for the big man in charge, the quarterback for the Chicago Bears, Mitchell Trubisky, that came off a sophomore season after throwing a whopping 24 yards with 12 picks with 3,223 yards off the previous season. Somehow went a cinch of a step and looked like he couldn't throw a short pass to save his life unless somebody took down his knee and beat the crap out of him until somebody told him to flick the ball. So he literally came off a declining 95.4 rating to an 83%. The guy seems inconsistent, barely knows how to play it off. Now, we can say that the O-line underperformed. Yes, I complained a lot about the offensive line underperforming over the majority of the Chicago Bears games from the last season. But it comes off the quarterback, too, because some quarterbacks can improvise even though they have a weak offensive line. They can come off the flea flick quickly. And plus, they can literally master plays if the player can really, show out once in a while. You have barely saw that of Mitchell Trubisky, unless probably you watched that Broncos game. Remember that the Broncos actually had good football games over the year. Other than that, I a lot of fans are disagreeing with the notion to give a 5-year extension to an underproven quarterback. So if he doesn't get an extension at least midway through the season, he's probably done with the Bears. He's probably going somewhere else if another team is not hashing out and waiting to go somewhere else where they're desperate for a quarterback. Uh, I I really don't. A lot of quarterbacks to fail. You're not going to get the Josh Rosen treatment. The guy is the number 2 pick of the NFL draft, so you expect a bit more off somebody like Mitchell Trubisky. He was already an unproven commodity coming around as a top 10 pick. People expected him as a second round pick, even though the guy barely even had like a junior year of college. You expect guys like that to at least grow and throttle. I don't see much North Carolina games to see how much Trubisky could even carry on a football team, how he barely even knows or notions the playbook. He can barely improvise on the fly. He is average. He is an average NFL arm the most times I've seen him, and he can barely improvise unless he has a great skills player, i.e., Taylor Gabriel, Matthews, the their two running backs, and David Montgomery, and practically the best defense in the league, literally carrying them on to have close games against their division rivals or anybody else they face. So it comes off a crap coach. We literally have a weak front office, a quarterback that's too inconsistent, and weirdly has a rare to even upside. While there's many other quarterbacks from his draft class that are Pro Bowlers and one is a Super Bowl champion, and he came around like as the fifth pick or the fifth or the fourth pick of the NFL draft, and then he comes around with his sophomore season, winning like his third season in the NFL. The guy's like 24 now, winning his first Super Bowl, and the Chiefs didn't even win a Super Bowl since the Super Bowl wasn't even in double digits yet. So it's kind of a big deal that this guy's that Mitchell Trubisky would live up to this expectation, while Watson shows himself to be a Pro Bowling quarterback that can move out and throw the ball on the fly, even though he just lost Hopkins. You already see previous videos of me already raving on Bill O'Brien. Okay, I should really save my anger for later. But other than that, it's a well-deserving tool. He shouldn't be getting that until he produces at least in the third season, or at least halfway in where we know he's going to be producing well for this team and we know what he's about. Because obviously sophomore years don't do that well. The guy's coming from the double doink. You're expecting a bit more other than his literal skill players in his defense, carrying him off. It's almost like the equivalent of Nick Foles in the playoffs. The guy's a reliable quarterback when you need him the most, but his team carried him to the Super Bowl anyway, so they can perform that well. I'm just saying that as a fact. And I'm not saying that as a personal shot to Mitchell Trubisky. I want him to succeed, but that's the way how it is, and a lot of players have it that way. Certainly, I don't. I'm not a pro football player. Most of my experience comes from varsity. And you at least learn the basics on the varsity level, JV level. Oh, I've been playing since I was like 8 years old, so I at least know some of my stuff, and I watch a lot of football. So you can at least know I know the techniques and the gist of how in the hell you're supposed to do your job, or you're just sucking in the pro level. I would suck in the pro level, but, I'm a fan. But that's it coming from from the Mr. Trubisky news. I want the dude to get paid, but he has to earn it. Coming off the third season, he needs to do much other than that abysmal start after coming from a playoff appearance his first year, his second year. So, you know, do something. Don't waste that. Don't waste that money. Oh boy. Thanks for watching.